know Spruce Lake Ambush Camp? Normally you deal with it on the game's terms, but I'm going to show you a strat that'll break this objective down. I'm revealing to you a secret route along the edge of the map to unlock the ultimate off-limits high ground advantage. Not only will this make you unstoppable, but it'll blow your mind how easy it is once you know the trick. And trust me, you've never seen Days Gone like this before. So buckle up, smash that like button, and join me for the ride. In order to get there, we gotta start here, in the Iron Butte region, at the Redwood RV ambush camp. Depending where you are in your gameplay, you might have to take out the rippers before getting to this point, where we can skirt the regular boundaries of the map and use this exploit to gain an advantage of being able to leave the area. Now, I tried throwing the gas can up to this level, but it didn't work, as I'm playing this at the very early stage of the game, so my gas tank is still at the bare minimum. But I refueled before I made the climb up here, so I think I'm alright with that. And seeing a freaker down there is actually quite a surprise. Normally they're not outside the game map like that. Guess he figured if I could do it, then he was gonna do it. Now, as we approach the top of the ridgeline, I'm actually going to show a side-by-side of two different routes that can be used to cross the region without glitching out and falling into oblivion. And the one on the right that I just popped up will also conserve a little bit more fuel than the one on the left. So on the left, we just cross the threshold from one region to the other, and we want to clip that projection just a little bit so that the ground solidifies. Now on the right, you can do the same thing without having to worry about falling into oblivion. You just gotta go up on that ridge and you're done. And the ground solidifies, and now we can use gravity a little bit more on the right side to conserve fuel. For certain parts there's no choice, you have to use the engine. But the one on the right, I think, is a little bit easier to deal with. It's a little more level versus the steepness of the mountain that you got to traverse on the left side. Okay, dealer's choice on which route you want to take. You'll still end up here at this mountain ridge that we have to cross. And what we want to do is we want to head up to the right. Again, this part will use a little bit of fuel, but once we get to the top mound over there, we'll be able to conserve quite a bit of fuel. Normally you'd be heading down toward the Lost Cabin mine to pick up a fuel can that's in a small cabin just outside of the mine. But considering the terrain we're about to follow, the amount of fuel that we have left will be more than enough to make it all the way to the end of the far reach of the map. Now, if you're wondering how early in the game I'm doing this, it basically, I took a journey across the mountain range using another exploit I've shown in another video, and essentially right from Copeland's camp, took out Horse Creek ambush camp, and then escaped the map and made my way across the entire mountain range to get to here. I started in the day, but it took all night, and that's why it was nighttime when I made my way over to the Redwood RV camp. But this is it. You just let gravity do most of the work, because it's pretty much all downhill from here. On the rare occasion where you get stuck on the flat part of the terrain, or when we have to eventually go uphill for a certain portion of it. But if you use the contours of the terrain, you can save quite a bit of fuel. And if you have Deke leaning over the handlebars of the bike and use his center of gravity to push the bike forward, you can get pretty far. Now you can see the straight angle of the map. That's so crazy. That's weird. Cool. As you won't see this from any part of the map when you're down below on the regular part of the terrain, but up here you can see the literal edge. And now the sun is gonna start peeking over the mountain, but right there, right along the whole edge, not getting into Crater Lake at all. No need to worry about hostiles in this particular scenario. There's nothing that's even up here. No animals, no freakers, no marauders. Just peace and quiet. If you're looking for that too, you could just ride up here and look down on everything as well. For the most part, it's possible to conserve quite a bit of fuel. It's essentially downhill, but at this point, we're going to have to re-engage the engine. Now, I'd love if we could just explore the heck out of this place, but unfortunately, the game devs did throw in a little, yeah, don't go too far, Mr. Smarty Pants. GreyGhost Gamerz thinks he can just, like, have the full run of the map without any boundaries and limits? I don't think so, pal. No sirree. Gotta have some. And to be honest, if you were riding down on the regular terrain, you'd never be able to get this far on the map with just the refueling at the Redwood RV. You'd be out of gas by now. But here we are.
Renegade camp. Sons of bitches, you think you can ambush me and get away with it?
Now, you don't want to go into the water at that point because it's deep enough that the bike will be consumed by it until you get here, where the water just ends. There you go. No problem for Deke getting across the river at that point. Now, I like to hug this particular rock face in order to avoid detection. Trying not to go too heavy on the engine just because it's still quite loud. But as we head up this little ridge and then make our way down and be able to roll up on these guys undetected. Even though we have great high ground position and can probably shoot at them, not going to have to do that much work because there's actually a small horde that these guys decided to set up next to. Yeah, you can hear them now, and they're right in that tunnel. Just take a steady aim and hit that explosive crate, and have them join the party. Now, even if you've been spotted and they get all riled up and start taking pot shots at you, you're pretty much untouchable up here. Unless you go to the edge of the cliff and decide to stand right where they can see you. You should not have any problems. Especially now that the horde is running rampant all over the camp, taking everybody out for you. And now everybody else is preoccupied with being attacked. Oh, there's the flamethrower guy. Cool. But they took him out.
Son of a bitch.
And the heavy gunner is about to get his ticket punched. Yeah, I think he's almost done. Oh, he's still going at it. How about the sniper?
Yeah, one more to go.
Okay, yeah, the heavy is down. Now only the sniper is left. I don't know why he's thinking he's edging closer and... Well...
Camp's clear. I know how it feels, being on the other end of it, yeah?
Guess he saw the futility of trying to be the last man standing and just
See if they got an underground
decided to check out himself. Now, for the horde, it's pretty much one attractor and one grenade. The attractor you can pick up at the start of the game when you and Boozer first hit Crazy Willie's. There's one hidden in one of the buildings. But just kind of let them congregate and then hit them hard. There were a few that were left over, but this ought to take care of the rest. Because they just love fire. I think you'll have to admit that this is the safest spot to take out a horde by far. No matter what horde you're going to go after, they will never get up here. And you can just go to town on them. The only thing that's left is to get down there and open up the ambush camp, find their bunker, and not only that, but you also have the NERO checkpoint that you have access to. So a little hop, skip, and a jump, and down we are. As long as Deke isn't leaning too far over the handlebar, you should be able to make it down there without him flying over and crashing to the ground, which is why health and safety first. But yeah, just take out the speakers, engage the Jenny for the NERO site, and the bunker is in this tent.
Here it is.
A 2-for-1 special from pretty much the highest ground you'll ever find. Appreciate the watch, hope you found this useful, and I'll catch you in the next one.